let's talk about the Winston brothers and their glorious beards. Okay, so book number 1 is Truth or Beard, Winston Brothers #1 by Penny Reid. This one came out quite a while ago. I see 2015. She's been putting out these books since. So book number 1 was about Dwayne and Jessica. So Dwayne is one of the twins, so I think they're like redheaded twins in the storyline, and you know, twins are mischievous. So it starts up with this like horrible scene where he fakes to be Beau, and this girl's always had a crush on Beau, and he goes and makes out with her, and at the end he's like, surprise, it's me, Dwayne. Like, yeah. I really like this storyline though. So obviously she like hates him in the beginning. But Dwayne is really, really sweet on the inside and really cute. I do like this storyline, but at the same time, you didn't know much about the Winston brothers or their world or their small town. There's a lot of dramas that happen in these stories about gangs and all this other stuff. So I didn't know where all that was coming from. So for me, the first book, I liked the love story, but not as much like all the background drama, but I got it as I read more and more and more of the Winston brothers. That makes sense. This was one of my favorites. Both the twins were my favorites. I don't know why, but they were. Jessica, I think she did a really good job with Jessica of like thinking you were one thing, but then realizing you're something else. You know, I think she did a good job like pulling that off in this story. And then Dwayne is just kind of, he's like always been in love with her. So even though it's an insta love story, it doesn't feel so badly because he's known her like his whole life, and they've known each other the whole life. It's just that she never looked at him in that way, I guess. In this story, you get introduced to all 6 of the other Winston brothers, and there's a lot of them, and they all have beards, and they're all like, I don't know, like manly men in some way. A lot of them are like lumberjack dudes. This story, and some of them work in auto shop. Some of the brothers work in auto shops. Some of them are like forest rangers, and one of them's like a veterinarian. So they all kind of have different jobs. But Dwayne and Jessica start out, and Jessica just like hates him. And she thought they always didn't get along. And then as she goes on, she realizes the whole time she thinks she's been in love with Beau and has always wanted to be with Beau, and she thinks Beau's her one, but she realizes that she has noticed absolutely everything about Dwayne. And Dwayne, she has come back to town since like college, and Dwayne has just kind of been waiting, waiting there. So yeah, that was book number 1. So book number 2 was my favorite. So book number 2 is about Jethro and Sienna. Jethro is this like honest, kind of consistent, knows what he wants demeanor in life, and he is a park ranger. And then Sienna is just this like goofball. She's kind of wishy-washy of where she's at in life. She's a famous actress, comedian, and she doesn't know which direction or what she really wants to do at this point. She's a little bit lost, where Jethro is very, very staunchly where he wants to be kind of in that moment. But Jethro has this horrid past of, he was in the gang that was in the local town that his father was in, and he was not a good person, and he used women and stole a lot of things. And so he has changed a ton in the last like 5 years, and just kind of, he was one of those people that just like cut it off completely and overnight kind of change. So there are a lot of hurt pasts through this book and dramas, because when he was younger, he did hurt a lot of people, and that's one of the things I really did end up liking about the book. And then Sienna doesn't have so much as drama, but the drama is that he used to be a bad boy, and Sienna's this like innocent girl that doesn't really have any bad clout on her in Hollywood at this time, but will get it because of who she is dating. And I really like them. I like them together a lot, so I think that's why it was my favorite. Is because I liked romantically this pair probably the best. I thought she did the best with their romance. So the first 2 brothers are a little bit similar-ish, like they're kind of bound and determined, but the next brother is completely different. His name is Cletus. So Beard Science is Cletus's book, and Cletus has these one-liner comedies like sketches in the other books, so you're kind of interested in him. And he's really, really weird, as it turns out. So if you didn't like the first 2 brothers, you might really like Cletus. Cletus is like got a scraggly beard and like curly hair, I think. It reminds me kind of I don't remember who that actor is. It's the guy from Sweet Home Alabama, kind of. That's what I kind of pictured. But Cletus is weird in the fact that he is a schemer. He's intelligent and he's always plotting and scheming. And he meets a girl and he's like, okay, yeah, that's the one I'm gonna marry. I have my eyes set on her. And he's just like, it's so cut and dry and weird. And then he meets another girl who bakes pies in the town, and he's always kind of known her, but he like really gets kind of sucked into her life. And her name is Jennifer, and she is considered the banana cake queen. So you get to know Jennifer in this book, and she's famous for her banana cakes online and in town, and everybody in apparently the state knows about her banana cakes. And she's a bit of a, what do you call those models that are like, beauty queens. Yeah, she has beauty queen stuff too. So her mom presents her in a certain way, and she's kind of trapped in this world. That's the one thing I didn't like about Jennifer, is she was very pushover. Like, she just did everything her mom wanted, even though she didn't want to do that. Like, she worked for free at the bakery for hours and hours and hours and wasn't paid for it. She just had, like, they just gave her money to do with what she wants, but she wasn't allowed to wear the clothes she wanted. So I didn't love Jennifer, but the story was good still. I still had fun with it. I still wanted to go on with the Winston brothers stories. And Cletus was weird. For me, he wasn't my guy. Cletus is weird and he's always scheming. So there was drama in this book. There was big drama in this book, of course, because Cletus is a schemer. But this one was kind of more middle of the road for me. These were not my favorite couple. It's just because I couldn't connect to the characters personally. Like, I am not Cletus and I am definitely not Jennifer, and there wasn't anything really connecting to me. They were entertaining to read, to watch, but for me, these guys were my favorite. So Beard in Mind was the next one, and I didn't expect Beard in Mind. Beard in Mind is about the second twin, and he's the other redhead, Beau, and he works with Cletus at the garage, and Cletus hires a woman, and that was the woman Cletus originally thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna marry that woman. But Cletus doesn't ever get to know her, obviously. He falls in love with the banana cake queen. And then this woman who Cletus had his eyes set on, Beau cannot stand. And her name is Shelley. So this book, once again, kind of flipped it on its edge, where she does not write the same kind of love story pattern every time. Hers are like instant love slash old love slash, I don't know. Hers, it flipped it on its head again, and this book took a lot more serious tone. So the world, the Winston brothers world with the gangs and the drama and their mom and their dad and just all this drama is built up a lot by this point as well. So there is a little bit of that, but it doesn't seem like off. Like, if you started on this book, I think you'd be a little lost. Like, why is this stuff in here? But Shelley is suffering in the whole entire book with like severe OCD. And you feel so bad, and it's just, it's hard to watch. And then Beau is so sweet. He's the one that in the first book, Jessica thought she was in love with, and it's because Beau is like this optimistic, ridiculous optimism, like weird, super nice guy, will do absolutely anything for anybody. And you can hear it if you listen to the audiobook versions of these. You can hear it in the guy's voice. He's just so chipper and happy, and I think this is why it's one of my favorites, is because that's kind of the way I come off of my own head. I'm kind of just a happy person in general. So I think reading about somebody who's always happy, it was just fun. It was just nice, but at the same time, it was very serious with Shelley's side. And Shelley is gorgeous, like the most beautiful person on the planet. That's the way she's described anyways. But she has some serious illnesses that she deals with, and she has problems with her own family. So this one definitely took a turn of a more serious note, which it was good because it's like book number 4 or 5 or whatever into the series. So it needed to change a little bit for the more like lighthearted love stories that we had read before. The only thing in this book is like, I really liked Beau, I really liked Shelley, and I liked that the book had kind of less of the city drama in it and stuff and focused more on their worlds, but at the same time I didn't quite feel the spark as much, so that's probably why it's not my favorite compared to book number 2, Grin and Barrett, or else this might have been my favorite. It's just, I loved each of the characters individually in this book a lot, but romantically it just never quite hit for me, I guess. Like, not enough at least. So yeah, let's move on to book number 5. There are 7 books, but one brother gets 2 books at the end, so we're almost there. But this brother was kind of, I was not expecting this book, but it is Dr. Strange Beard. And I was not expecting this one because this brother was the littlest brother, so I expected his to be the last. In a lot of the other books, he is like a little kid. He's like 13 and 14, so I did not see this book coming. Once again, the whole storyline was completely different than I expected it to be, because it's kind of set more into the future, where the other couples have all settled a lot and got married, and some of them have kids. Roscoe is the youngest brother, and he is now grown up. So I love Roscoe because he is I think he's a veterinarian, right? Because he's a veterinarian, he's wickedly smart. And then in it is another girl named Simone, I believe. And Simone is this beautiful, I think she is a beautiful girl that he's known his whole life once again. That he has never literally forgotten anything they had ever done together or hung out with each other, and they were best friends forever. And then at one point he cut her off and she doesn't know why, and she is an FBI agent and nobody knows. So there is a huge portion of this book is like bringing back the town drama that all went on with his dad and the gang and his brother and the gang, and other dramas with companies and the gang, and just it all kind of comes to a forefront in this book a little bit. And because she's an FBI agent and nobody knows, so I like it. These were completely different, kind of like Grin and Barrett was. She brought a celebrity in. They both had completely different jobs and had moved out of this like little town area that you were kind of sucked up into with the other 5 books. So yeah, I really liked, or with the other 4, I really liked kind of going off with them. And I do like Simone and Roscoe together. It's really good and really cute. I like them together, and it's really charming and cute, but in a way it's not like the other characters are written to be charming and cute and stuff, and you really get to know the characters themselves, where Roscoe and Simone, I feel like you get to know their past a lot in the book, and you get to know what they do as a job in the book. So you don't really personality wise get to know them. That's one thing, but it's just, I like the way the book was written still. I really, really liked it, and I really enjoyed it. And this one I would definitely collect still. Beard with Me and Beard Necessities, and I'm gonna have to clump this review together because for me, it's like one long drama book, okay? So Beard with Me is, I thought it was gonna be the sister. The 6 brothers do have one sister, but it is not. It is about when he was younger and when he first met the love of his life. So it's about Billy Winston, who is one of the oldest brothers, and Scarlett. So Billy is very serious. He's into politics, and you've kind of known that through the whole series, and you always wonder what happened between him and Scarlett, because other people notice, like they give each other these looks and they know something is up, like what happened to them once upon a time. And Scarlett's also tied into the story in a huge way. Like one of the people stay in her house when she moves out of town. Cletus used to sing with her. And she also dated one of their best friends who had died in the Iraq War, so she was married to him too. So she had dated one of their best friends who had died and was married, but then something had happened a long time ago, and nobody really knows what. Some of the brothers are ignorant that anything ever did happen between Scarlett and Billy. So this one I was excited for, like, because there was a lot of clues and hints given away about Scarlett and Billy throughout the whole entire book. So as always, you kind of get let down a little bit. The first book, Beard with Me, I really, really liked. It is just 13 years and what did happen. And there was a lot of drama because Scarlett was the king of the gang's daughter and had run away. So there is a huge drama with that. And then as well, and then Billy playing into it, it's pretty dramatic, and how it ends is pretty dramatic. So I really liked it because it's young love and you get to see it all and everything's there first and it's exciting. But then the second storyline, you think in the very beginning that they might reconnect after all these years, but you know through the other books that they had met up a few different times. And once you learn how much they have met up through this period of like 14 years of being separated and having nothing to do with each other, it's a very long drawn out romance that you can't really believe anymore, it seems like. So the whole entire family is actually out of their small town and away from the gangs in this book. In the very last book, they're all in Italy visiting Jessica. In the first book, Jessica and Dwayne. Jessica had huge wanderlust. That was like one of the big dramas in the book, and wanted to travel. So Dwayne happily travels with her. And they are at that point in Italy, and everybody comes to visit, and everybody decides to set Billy and Scarlett up. So yeah, there's also drama of Scarlett's kind of related to some of them. Yep, if you read the books, you'll find out. So Billy and Scarlett's drama has been carried through the whole books, and then you read their first beginning, and it's really done well, I think, with their younger love. But when you get to their older love, it's drawn out so much through the book, and you find out how much they met up, and you're like, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe that they were not together for 14 years. Like, I don't believe it. Like, they should have gotten together a long, long time ago, and it's very frustrating. There wasn't much of a plot in this one. Before, there was always this drama in the small town, and like problems with like people finding out they're dating them, or the gang drama, or whatever, their mother or their father, or whatever the drama was. There was always this drama. But this one, the last book, there wasn't much of a plot. It was like retellings of like what had happened in the past 13 years and rehashing it over and over. I didn't really enjoy the plot on this one, and it just kind of, I hate when authors bring together all the characters you loved and you're like excited to know about them, but it's just like for sideshow. It's nothing really, you don't get really more into anything, and it's a bit sad. And as far as the romance goes, it's like rehashing all this stuff, and it feels like Billy is a very strong character. I mean, he's in politics, he's been engaged, a lot has happened in his life, and it's like he gets reset in the book to his teenage mindset, where hers doesn't get reset that way. I didn't really get it. I get Billy's in love with her and all, but I didn't get the resetting. So I didn't love the ending that much, but overall, as the book is a series, I would say read all of them. I loved all the books. They were so much fun. And when I was telling you that there was a beard for everybody, every single guy is completely different in this book. All the storylines are different, which is nice. Even the way they kind of fall in love, which is nice. You know, some like storylines, you know, like they meet the person, they're in love, and then the big problem happens and then they solve the problem. It's not like that in every storyline. I really do like it because it's not the same repetitiveness, and I really enjoyed them, and they were a great surprise, really fun to read during the quarantine, and I hope you guys check them out. I will see you guys next time. Bye.